If you're one of the people that believes that the New World Order is a conspiracy, the United Nations wanting to end world hunger and have sustainable development is just virtuous goals for the elite to have on this planet, and that we are not under some form of organized chaos meant to look random, but really designed to take us to a given place in time by way of political division, socioeconomic division, racial division, financial division, any division that is useful to take us to a given place in time. If you're one of the people that believes that there is not a concerted effort to herd humanity to a one world government, I hope to shed some light on that right now. Stay tuned.
What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
New World Order. Now, what do we have here? We have a symbol of a pyramid with an all seeing eye on top of it, separated from the body of the pyramid with 13 steps surrounded by Latin on American money. Why would that be? Why is it that the Federal Reserve is a private organization that is in control of the money of the American citizens? Why is it that America is almost $40 trillion in debt and that human beings are increasingly treated like human resources from government as well as the private sector? Why is it that there is occult symbolism on the American money? The 13 steps, Latin, annuit coeptus, a binding pledge or an oath to undertake, Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new order of the ages. We have presidents that are talking about the New World Order all the way up so far as to 2026. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, current presidents are all seemingly so acting to be divided while creating the same issues the other side of the government will fix that just so happen to limit and take American freedoms. I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with our country being $40 trillion in debt and every law being a way for these politically elite to drain revenue from the masses. I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with that. I'm sure it's not a humiliation ritual, the fact that it's in our money that we have to labor and slave for. Oh, let's look at the other side of the dollar bill, where the one in the right hand corner is the border of the one in the right hand corner, the top left crescent of the one. You'll see a little white blotch sitting on the crescent. That's an owl. Zoom in on it. You can see this picture here and look. That owl represents something subconsciously, not consciously, because the conscious mind does not register some dot in a $1 bill. That owl represents something. Let's think about Bohemian Grove. Let's think about for a second what the owl represents. It is a unique creature in that the owl takes pleasure whenever it has to inflict violence on its prey to sustain itself. It doesn't just do it to live, it does it because it takes great pleasure in that act. These people are at Bohemian Grove doing a cremation ceremony called Cremation of Care in front of an owl. Just so happens that that same owl is hidden in our money that we don't control, the value of our own time and labor that we can never get back, the future of America, humanity. Humans are wide asleep. These people know that they can put this stuff in our money, in our face, in our politics, in our celebrities, and we will never know because we lack the mental capacity required to have spiritual intuition. Could that be from the 14,000 hour indoctrination program called public schooling, in which that if you have the mindset to not let yourself be taken over by your enemies, you wouldn't want to let your enemies have control of your children's future, right? In their education. But I think that's where America has went. I think we have departed from fundamental values of freedom. I think Americans no longer wish to have freedom, but I think they wish to be controlled, their thoughts controlled, and everything about themselves controlled. That is what I believe. I believe that Americans do see this because it is not very hard to see and uncover the truth behind the illusion. I believe that it's more benefiting for them to remain in bliss. Ignorance, I mean. So let's continue. This is the owl of Bohemian Grove. It's not a coincidence that this same owl is in our money, hidden. Some may say that that little feature is a security feature meant to prevent counterfeiting. Well, there's way better means to prevent counterfeiting than to make a symbolic hidden dot owl in the money. That, to me, is a humiliation ritual. This is another one of the ways that these people can throw this in our face while we still don't see it. The same owl that elites happen to worship in the woods of California? Seriously, we're not believing this in 2026 that these people are all just well meaning and kind of out there, right? If you're one of the people that has struggled to follow with me, then let's take it no further than Washington, D.C., where so long ago the street layout is a Masonic pentagram. It just so happens that this point of the star culminates at the White House. I'm sure that nobody can say that's a conspiracy, right? Why would these people take so much time and effort into lay out the whole of Washington, D.C. in Masonic symbolism? It really makes you wonder. It also makes me wonder about celebrities like Drake. Drake has the owl. He's all known for his owl, for his music logo and his music. That owl represents something. It's funny that we see it at Bohemian Grove and even in our money and a celebrity's most closest logo. I want you guys to know that the events that are getting ready to take place in America, they are not random. They are planned, politically divided, meant to be created by one side and fixed by the other. I'll tell you what will be fixed is our freedom. Very soon, if Americans do not wake up to the dire straits of the stealthy encroachment upon our civil liberties and our freedoms in this country, we will lose them. There will be emergency rules in this country where we'll suspend the Constitution. There will be no trial. There will be no court. There will be no grand jury. There will be no room to leave firearms in the hands of the American people, just like Hurricane Katrina. During one of America's most desperate times of need, the government coordinated and conspired to disarm those people. And I have recently talked to people that served in the Coast Guard. They absolutely believe that that is what the government should have done. These people out here are your enemy. And I am here to tell you, please make no mistake about it. You are what stands between the government and your freedom. They are shock testing Americans for what is to come. They have spent the last 30 years storing all digital information. They are going to use that information to coordinate against the Americans. This country will be taken over. It will collapse artificially, and on top of that collapse will come a digital technocracy. We will go into a one world government, just like these people have bound to swear to secrecy, to uphold, and to bring to fruition. These people are your enemy. Stand for freedom, and truth. I love you guys. We will see you soon.